guest has been a professional movement coach and manual therapist for over 13 years. Truly one of the best I have come across. He works with celebrities, professional athletes, Olympic athletes, and everybody in between. He is the creator of the Align Band, and he is the host of one of the top-rated podcasts called Align Podcast. And he's now my new acro yoga partner, actually.
New acro yoga partner.
My new acro yoga partner.
I hope you wouldn't leave out the most important part.
That is the most important part.
New acro yoga
I've
partner.
been looking for a 6'4" guy that knows acro yoga.
Perfect.
Are you 6'4"?
6'4.5".
There we go.
No big
Even
deal.
better. No big deal.
You're not supposed to do that.
Oh.
You're not supposed to add the 0.5 unless you're like 11 years old.
I'm 5'9.5", and I do exactly the same thing.
Okay.
We get that inch. Actually,
Yeah, try to grab it.
whenever I'm around you, I'm like, oh, I got to like check myself because your posture is always on point.
You don't want to be too on point, though.
Oh, okay. So tell me. What do you mean?
So we're always reading each other.
Okay.
There's something to kind of think about with that. You know, so if you're always going around the world and you're excessively stuck, like stick in your ass type position, that makes everyone
Yes.
uncomfortable.
That's true.
You know, so it's like I was talking before this of some people that kind of lead with being really spiritual or really, you know, posturally aligned, whatever it is. It's kind of like it creates a separation between everybody else.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
definitely don't do that because you
Oh,
go
good.
from, you have this presence. Like when I met you, I was like, are you a dancer? You have like this, you said everybody's a dancer, but you have this presence about you. It's almost very regal. But then the next minute you'll be like a monkey on the floor
Yeah.
or like in a handstand
Yeah, you gotta
or
do
in
both.
the tree.
Yeah, you got to do both. Yeah.
So tell me more. So tell me all about this stuff, like movement and what you do with people and everything.
So something that was really interesting that I heard just yesterday. I was going to say read and try and sound smarter than I actually am, but I heard it.
Okay.
It's always better when you read something. But primates in nature, they don't have incidences of like osteoarthritis or joint disease, right? So if they're just moving around the world the way that our organisms are meant to, our indigenous movement function, our body just heals itself. But when we put ourselves into these domesticated environments, then all of a sudden that's when we start creating these traffic jams inside of our body. And so when you take the primate out of nature and put them into a zoo, now all of a sudden they have all these human issues, these diseases.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. And so what you'll see with people, why it is important to be able to bridge a gap and be able to kind of like fit in with the domesticated human race and not be like too out there. We're tribal. Right. And so if you're too different, sometimes people, you know, it's like becomes like a Jesus Christ thing, you end up getting crucified. Yeah. You know, or whatever. Anybody that kind of goes outside of that, the tribe says, ooh, I'm not sure about that. You know, so the real messenger is able to integrate between, okay, I stand up, I'm strong and I'm here and we communicate, and we can also be, you know, a child and play and move.
It's so true. I love everything. You were like, how did you find me? I'm like, I don't know, Instagram. But I love everything that you share on your Insta stories, and I'm obsessed with your podcast right now.
Good.
Yeah, it's so good. But I love that it's just natural. Like everything that you talk about is just aligned with nature, and it just makes sense. Like your floor culture and being in the sun. I mean, these are ways that I like to live as well. And it's almost like we need to just go back to where we were. Yeah. And somehow everything got shifted.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think that's it. You know, it's like if you want new information, look into old books or something like that.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff, like yoga is probably older than 5,000 years old, but it's like 5,000 years old. I'm sure it's way older than that.
Yeah.
But all the good stuff, you know, sunbathing, that's been something that's like Greco-Roman and before that as well. You know, we have this text of when this stuff comes about. And now all of a sudden people are making lots of money and creating these like artificial whatever sun devices. Like every gizmo that you get, in my experience, which is why I like your stuff, where it's like it's natural, organic, real stuff that you could get out of food and you put that on your body. Like that's the good stuff, the stuff that you can just grab out of nature. As we start to create more expensive gizmos, then all of a sudden what we're doing is we're outsourcing our own natural nervous system function, our own adaptability into that gizmo. When you do that, then the body essentially starts to kind of get bored. It's like, oh, okay, cool. You know, if you put me into this elaborate machine where all I do is one range of motion, I don't need to balance myself or anything.
True.
The rest of the body just says, okay, cool. Well, we'll just chill and kind of give up, and we'll just focus on the biceps.
I love that. No, but I love I was just thinking of like some of your Instagram videos, which I'm going to post later. The one that we did, acro yoga, was so yummy and amazing, and like different movements. And you have just these I just love your videos. The way that you move is so unconventional and intuitive is what it looks like.
Cool.
It's just very, it's so out of the box. Like I think so many people, you're right, like just go to the gym and they do standard things.
Standard stuff, yeah.
You could just go outside and move.
Yeah, the brain adapts really well to change. Right, so when we see a specific pattern, be it music or be it movement or even comedy, for example, when you're watching somebody do comedy, why you laugh is because normal, unexpected, whoa, all of a sudden you have this rush of laughter or sensation or emotion, right? So it's the same thing with movement. So our body's always, it's that new novel stimulus that causes our body to start upregulating all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And so if we can kind of add those little novel stimuluses into our day-to-day, like being a kid, again, a child, everything is novel and everything is new, and they're so excited about everything. They want to put everything in their mouth and they want to grab it and climb it. As an adult, we start to kind of like, that's childish. You're supposed to know everything. And really what you do when you put that helmet on of knowing everything, that's when you start actually dumbing yourself down.
Oh, that's so true. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Always remain a student. Humble student.
Yeah. You got to watch out for the excessively spiritual people.
Yeah.
When someone kind of wears that on their sleeve, like, just so you know, I'm very spiritual.
Yeah. If they say that,
oh
it's
God,
like,
get away. Keep it off of me.
That's when I was thinking about you, I was like, I was drawn to you because I feel like there are a lot of like snake oil situations happening right now.
Yeah.
And I just find you so authentic and organic, and you walk it like you talk it, and you share a lot of it through Insta story. And just like a brief like overview to share with the viewers right now, like what's a basic morning like for you? Because I don't think it's not traditional for most people.
Yeah. Like,
what's your morning routine?
Okay. Something that I do that I think is really important that probably not everybody does is I sage the house. So that's like one of the first. So first thing I do.
That's how I found you. The sage, remember?
Oh, perfect.
I smelled the sage, and
of course.
I was like, oh yeah, there he is.
The door.
Yeah.
Very embarrassing. So
I was like, I don't know the house. Oh, I smell the sage.
Yeah, I'm like a native Indian.
Yeah.
You're supposed to call them native Indians, apparently, not Native American.
Oh, okay.
So says Sebastian Junger in the book Tribe. Highly recommend that book. Random side.
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
You have
tangent.
a lot of good recommendations.
Thank you. So drink really excellent water. So ideally spring water. Get the hell away from any kind of like tap water, all that stuff. You actually really want to have minerals in your water. So just because you've sanitized the water so much and purified and taken everything out of it, now all of a sudden, this is an analogy for everything else, right? Your body isn't able to assimilate that as well. It needs those minerals to be able to actually make your body function.
So it's pulling from somewhere else or overcompensating somewhere.
Yeah, so I'll throw some salt into the water.
Oh, nice.
Because living in LA, it's not as easy to get like the super water. But we were talking about potential sources to grab some good stuff. And there are natural springs around here as well, that you can go and gather water. I'm not quite spiritual enough to make the journey, but I'm gonna do it soon. We should do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm down.
Let's do it.
I'm serious.
We just gotta
hold
get
us
like
to that.
we gotta hold
wherever
it.
I'm supposed to point.
Somehow,
hold us to that. We're gonna get
I don't
the
know
water.
how we're gonna do the water, but yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it. But then from there, so drink the water. I do a little sage thing, and so the sage. One thing that's interesting with burning sage, it actually ends up kind of sterilizing or taking any type of pathogenic bacteria out of the air. And it's supposed to last for something like 16 to 20 hours or so of saging that room. So a lot of these old kind of Eastern, some of the beliefs that in Western culture be like, oh, that's nonsense. The idea of like, oh, like you want to kind of sage smudge the energy. If we say that, it's like, nope, not into it. Throw it in the bus, not into it.
Yeah.
But if you start saying, oh, we'll start to be able to clean out the pathogenic bacteria from the air, there's actually this whole effect there. So you see these bridging between these different worlds, but sometimes it takes the Western scientific lens a little bit of time to catch up. And some of the airy-fairy kind of New Age stuff, I think, is kind of bogus.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
a lot of the stuff, the scientific lens just hasn't caught up yet, though.
Yeah. I did read, though, this is interesting, you reminded me of it. I love telling people this story. So the courtesans back in the day used to actually have a burning sage, and they would stand in between their clients. Cool. So they would sage there,
Whoa.
in between, and they thought that it was cleaning them at that time, and that's what they used.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I've heard using ocean water for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
So just jumping in the water. I don't remember which culture this was, but it was some religious thing. But
and natural.
I think it was a Jewish thing. You
Really?
get in the water 7 times, and you do that as like a ceremony
like a
every
ritual.
time. Yeah, if you sleep with somebody, you're not really so excited about it. Like, oh, get it off of me.
So if I see someone like going in and out,
Yeah, you're like, I know. Yeah,
That's
so
funny.
with that, but then you see the similar thing. There's a really nice book called Blue Mind, by a guy called Wallace Nichols. Gets into all of the effects of how the human body just starts to. Most of the health factors in your body end up upregulating just from jumping in some water. So we see these. Yeah. So these practices end up always they come together at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get me back to you saging, you're watering, a little salt, spring water. Then what?
Yeah. I do a cold shower, which is a nice thing. So I'll try to do that for like 45 seconds or a minute or so. People say do longer, but I'm good with just like.
You don't want to waste the water.
Well, whatever. No, I'm not really thinking about it like that.
Oh, really?
Honestly, it's just because it's cold and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the whole point.
It's too much.
So then your body's working hard to warm itself back up.
So it's that adaptation thing. So that's the big thing. Giving your body some reason to wake up, some reason to show up. I was thinking about this with like the way that humans are. It's if you have a purpose, if you have a function, if you feel like, okay, Jesse, I'm here, I'm doing the show, and I'm teaching, thousands of women to be empowered and all this stuff. You're like, cool, I feel good. I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Right? At a cellular level, you think the same way. So all of your cells, if they just always have this temperate water and they always have adequate food and the air is always this perfect, whatever is perfect for you, 70 degrees, your cells are like, I don't need to do anything
just
for you.
Just saying that sounds so mundane and like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, no, you gotta shake it up.
Yeah, shake it out.
Shake it up.
Yeah. So those situations where you're the most uncomfortable, you're in a dance, or you're doing public speaking, or you're really cold, or you're really hot, all of those, it gives your body an opportunity to say, cool, like I got you, I'm gonna work for you. Yes. If it feels like it can work for you, all of a sudden it feels happy and healthy, just like your own psychology. Yeah. It's like the micro macro, they're all pairing off of each other.
I love that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we got the routine after the cold shower. I'm assuming you probably get some sun or.
Oh yeah, that's a big one too.
Right?
Yeah, so I'll try to be barefoot as much as I can and expose as much of my skin as possible.
I mean, I know why, but tell our people like what.
Well, lots of things. One of which, the main thing for me, I genuinely just feel more comfortable with that. So your feet have a higher concentration of sensory receptors than most other parts of your body. So your hands are really big with that as well. Also your face, your lips, all these areas, right? So there's a lot of sensation happening there. There's a lot of cells that are kind of determining what's happening in the world. When you shut down that area, all of a sudden, again, it sends a stimulus to the rest of your body of, essentially closing, contracting. And so I like to be able to walk around on a wide variety of surfaces because it plays your brain. Yes. So there's
it's like reflexology.
Yeah, exactly. It's reflexology. So that's kind of like, a practice of that, playing your brain, playing your organs. So getting out of the really crazy idea that your brain is separate from your gut, is separate from your foot, is separate from your emotions, is separate from it's all the same shit. So if you can start to merge that, then all of a sudden you get back closer to, what your body actually understands, which is, connection.
Yes.
But we take out, we slice all these different layers to just be able to teach. But the reality, your body's just like, okay, cool, like 2-dimensional textbook, great. Like, I'm glad that you're learning that, but that's not actually what's happening. What's actually happening is like, we dance. How do you describe that? There's no textbook that's like, wow, like it just doesn't, or like playing a guitar or whatever. Like try to break that down in a 2-dimensional textbook. It's like fucking impossible. You can't do it.
Yeah.
So we can start to merge all that. I think it just makes it a lot easier for our bodies.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about this roll thing, which we're gonna do at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to. I thought we did. No, we didn't.
No.
Did we not?
No.
Oh. No, let's do it.
No, but we did. I mean,
we did acro.
It was so dope, though.
Yeah.
It was so stretchy and yummy. It was like a massage. Honestly, airplane has been my favorite thing to do since I was a kid. And
Yeah.
then like when the acro yoga came thing, I was like, yes, like super stoked. Like no one was literally could hold me. So I was super stoked
Cool.
about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so tell me about the Rolfing.
Rolfing, one of the
Rolfing.
most terribly branded names.
Yeah.
So it's just the last name of this sweet yet curmudgeon-y old woman called Ida P. Rolf, and she was kind of like a genius in a lot of ways, and she called it structural integration. So structural integration is a way more appropriate term in my opinion, and what we're trying to do with that is we're trying to align and connect your feet to your knee, to your hips, up through your spine, create alignment or stack. When you can create that alignment or stack from all the joints all the way from the head down to the feet, then all of a sudden your body can start to chill, it can heal. But as long as your body's in this compensatory imbalance pattern, it kind of has to like hold on all day long, right? So when you're holding on because of your imbalance, that just creates a lot of friction in the system essentially.
Yeah.
And so what she was really good at is seeing through a system, kind of looking at the body as almost like you're wearing clothes. So if your shirt's all twisted over the side, or your pants are on backwards, your shoes you feel kind of funny when you walk around. And so that practice of structural integration or Rolfing, there's different forms, essentially is using hands-on therapy as a means of like reorganizing your clothes, your body clothes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Rolfing, and then like, just movement in general, like just these abstract movements that you do. And then we have this guy here too, that you have this line band, which I did the other day, was so dope. Cool. I love it. And we hooked it up to the door, and I was able to do all kinds of yummy things, get into my hip flexors, which is so common for all of us because we're sitting all the time, right? Yeah,
with stuff like that, with any kind of self-care tool, it's just accessibility is a big thing. And so something I see with people is like, for me, even anything that we're like teaching or writing about or whatever, it's all stuff that you see in yourself and you're like, oh, right, this probably relates to other people. So for me, I have the excuse of if I'm traveling, I'll be like, oh, well, I don't really need to like take care of myself because I'm on the road.
Hi.
And so that it's so easy to put that story in front of, taking care of yourself.
And you can just throw this in your bag and do something. So is there anything we could do right here sitting down?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So what's interesting with this, the big thing, it's always with any tool, it's just the education behind it, and so it's a resistance band and then has a door anchor, so you can attach it to, a hotel door or, anywhere you're at. You can just have it hanging down there and you can start decompressing joints and doing different integration techniques.
All that good
but
stuff.
a big thing is just the tendency with people is to be really folded forward into this type of position. Right, so our head's jutting forward into this. It's called forward head posture, or upper cross syndrome, unnecessary terms. But the shoulders get rolled forward. The spine goes into this curmudgeon-y old hyperkyphotic type position.
It's a very depressed state.
It's a depressed state, yeah. So your body's listening to that. You're saying, okay, cool. Jessie is in this position when she feels really sad. Right, her cat got run over by a lawnmower. Whatever happened, and all of a sudden you're like, oh God, I feel terrible. When you go up into this position, it's like, oh cool, Jessie won. Fill in the blank.
Yeah.
You win like this and you cry like this, and so hormonally, physiologically, your body is always listening to that.
I love that concept.
So your cells don't have eyes, but they listen to your movement. So if you want to feel better, like go exercise. All right. So as we're going through, something you can start to play with is just taking the band, just because we're just sitting here, just taking the band and literally, so you start off just pulling the shoulders back a little bit. Most of us end up being hunched over in this position. So stack yourself up in a good, strong, stacked position. And then from here, you should be sitting at your house. Just start trying to break the band in half, right? Then you can start to come out to the side a little bit, come out to the other side, go up overhead, just explore all these different ranges of motion.
And it's a lot of work. Like, it doesn't look like you're doing anything, but I know that with the resistance band, it's a lot of work to engage everything.
It's as much work as you want to make it.
Yeah,
right?
That's true.
So the big thing with the band is being able to hang it up in your door and having like the whole shebang with that. So it's like it's sitting there and it's looking at you, and then from there it's really starting to, it's like a samurai sword. If you just look at a sword, you don't know how to use it. It's like probably won't do too much. Won't be too effective with it.
You actually have to use it.
You have to use it and learn how to use it. And as you start to learn how to be in your body better, all of a sudden you can start to become more creative with any tool.
Yeah.
So any rock or side of a car or anything like that can become like world's best self-care tool.
Yeah.
Right? It's just figure at first, like, go in, figure out how to develop that intelligence of how to be in your body, and then you can literally make anything become a self-care thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
You've already given so many, I call them golden secrets.
I like it.
But what's like what's number one golden secret right now? Like what's intuitively, what's your answer like right now?
There's so many.
I know.
I would say number one golden secret. So all the movement stuff, that's all I think a reflection of how you actually feel. So they're all tying back to each other, like we kind of mentioned. So you can use your movement to feel well, and then also at the same time, I think finding passion and being honest with yourself of what really serves you and what really lights you up. Do more of that. And so if you can do more of whatever it is that lights you up, and don't care what it is, it's gonna be different for everybody, thankfully. So whatever that thing that really makes you come alive, do whatever you can to put yourself in that situation as much as possible. And then from that all of a sudden starts to spill back into your physical tissue, and you feel a little bit more alive in this world. But if you are trying to martyr yourself for these exercise programs, but in the end you don't really actually want to wake up in the morning, your posture will start to hunch over. So start just looking at your physical posture and your body as bigger than just muscles and joints and ligaments.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, good.
I'm just thinking, I feel like everyone watching us right now is like just sitting up a little bit taller. They're a little bit more aware.
Cool.
And everybody needs to go check out his podcast because it's one of my favorites. I love it. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course. We got to do some acro.
I know.
Throw down.
Let's do it.
Here we go.